Interpol issued arrest warrants. He came to power in November 1987, just 6 weeks after becoming Prime Minister. He'd arranged for doctors to declare that the previous president for life, Habib Bourguiba, was senile and unfit to rule. It was the start of big changes in Tunisia, and 2 years later, he won a prestigious French prize. The 7th of November 1987, you re-established the basis of democracy, giving the Tunisian people their dignity. 2 decades later, those words would take on a hollow resonance, as calls for more public freedom eventually hounded him out. Ben Ali was credited with bringing economic growth to Tunisia and ensuring political stability. Foreign investment and trade, particularly with Europe, grew. Tunisia's tourism industry blossomed. But critics say he walked over democratic and human rights. He was married twice with his second wife, a former hairdresser, Leila Trabelsi. They lived a lavish lifestyle that disconnected them from the Tunisian people. In 2002, he held a referendum on constitutional reform to extend his time in power still further. It was passed with more than 99% of the vote. Just like the first multi-party presidential elections in 1999, which he won by a similar margin. Human rights groups smelt widespread fraud. But Ben Ali remained a friend of the West, particularly the US. He maintained moderate foreign policy and was active in encouraging the Palestinian-Israel peace process. His 5th term in office came in 2009, returned with a share of the vote touching 90%, even though it was a multi-party election. He rejected claims that the ballot was bent, threatening to prosecute anyone he said was spreading lies to damage the country's image. A year later, the people's fury rebounded. When the first news of his coma emerged from exile in Jeddah, the compassion expressed in Tunis, if indeed there was any, was undetectable.